Well, Tim and Ashlyn have a beautiful story, and they asked me to talk about that for a little bit, but also to point to you the larger story that they're a part of. And that story is told in the Bible in the book of Genesis, which is the great book of beginnings. And it describes the scene as God existing before anything we knew came into being. And he existed not just as a individual, but as a community within himself, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. And it's out of this perfect community within himself that he created everything that we know, with the earth, the heavens, animals, trees, plants, and as the crowning work of his creation, he created humanity. And he said that the only thing that wasn't good in all of his creative work is that he just created an individual. He created man. And so he tells the story how he puts the man to sleep and takes part of the man out of him, a rib, and forms the woman and brings this woman, and he's blown away, much like Tim is blown away today. And he responds in this poetic, beautiful song, "This at last is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh." And it's a beautiful scene, and God himself officiates the very first wedding between the very first man and the very first woman. And it's a beautiful, perfect scene in perfect connection with one another, in perfect connection with God, their creator. But as the story goes on, it doesn't stay perfect for very long. Selfishness enters the world. The man and the woman start to doubt God. They start to doubt one another, and it all gets distorted. But all of it, even from the very beginning, even in Genesis chapter 3, in the middle of this very first story, it points to a hope that will eventually be realized. And that's where God sends his only son, Jesus, to the earth to fix that brokenness, to actually to be a cure for the fatal infection of selfishness and pride and arrogance in the world. The Bible tells us Jesus himself, in his life, in his death, in his resurrection, in the essence of who he is love. And loving marriage, as such, is only truly sustained by Jesus, because he's the one that creates a way to truly put others before self. And that's why Tim and Ashlyn are here today. I know you both believe this, and in all of these things, I just want to encourage you, walk closely with Jesus. If you walk closely with Jesus, he will sustain you individually, and he will bring you closer together at the same time. So I now pronounce you husband and wife. You make this Well, it's my pleasure to introduce to you for the very first time Mr. and Mrs. Timothy Buckingham.